Welcome to another episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales with Wally. And today I am so excited to have on a 57-year-old, I think from Birmingham, England. His hockey journey has for sure taken him to Wales, Northern Ireland, Scotland, Denmark, and England, probably some other countries. He is a staple and legend with one of the Shed's favorites, the Sheffield Steelers. And he is a legend in the Shed, holding the scoring record for the first and second place Shed visits with episodes 52 and 100. And folks, 100 episodes ago, he has brought in 1,577 folks when we organized a goalie fight that never happened. But between the two has brought in over 3,000 folks to the Shed, but more importantly, helped start Kit Kat Get That before the Fun Police banned it. Welcome back for episode 200, David Sibbs.
I just hope you haven't brought me back just because the viewing numbers have started to slide and you need me to kind of increase them a little bit for you.
Well, I could always use the Simsy effect, but
okay.
I never started this for the lessons. I never started it for that, but it is really cool when it happens, and I like chatting with you.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. 200 episodes. Who'd have thought that, eh?
I never ever would have imagined. To be honest, yeah, it's episode 200. I'm allowed to be proud. It's a podcast, right?
You should be proud. Yeah, it's good fun, and lots of people listen to it. And when we walk around at the arena and different things, and people go, "Oh, did you listen to Jeff LeGree? Did you listen to Robert Dowd? You listen to Matthew Warr, and I'm sure the Cardiff fans then will listen to all of their guys." And it's all fun, man. It's all fun.
It is really fun, and it's over there. It's in my hometown in Elmira, where I no longer live. It's in Kincard, and here it's yeah, when people are talking about it, it's great, and I still love it. This many episodes later, I'll still get up at 5 a.m. to do it, talk to anybody. I just love it. And I get into how we know each other. I am currently raising money for Steelers family. The Batemans, for Rich Bateman.
Yeah.
So I'm raffling off this jersey right there on this side of me. That is the last Two Ales and Hockey Tales jersey made that I haven't given away. So that's the last one, folks. And you could buy raffle tickets at aleshockeytales.com. And that is to help with his rehab from devastating stroke.
Tragic story. Good people. And they've been Steelers fans forever. We did a bit for them when we found out, and we'll make sure that we retweet that after this broadcast and get that out there. And yeah, it's horrible. So good people, great
people. And I actually had the son on this morning, James, and what a great kid. And I hope we can raise some money with our raffle. So anywho, that's one way we know each other. Kit Kat Get That, eh? That happened since episode 100, and I tell you, what a time, eh?
It was big. It went big, and then it stopped instantly. The arena manager is a good guy called Dom Stokes. He walked past me. He goes, "This Kit Kat thing's terrific, isn't it? Terrific." And I went, "Oh yes, Dom, it is." He goes, "It's never happening again, David. It's never happening again." I mean, because like 6 packs of Kit Kats right from the top of the arena, and they're coming down, and they were cranking people on the head, and
Carter said he took one on the head on the bench too. It sounded like a few guys took a few in the noggin.
I'll tell you what, we didn't do the old risk assessments on that, did we?
Well, it was sure fun, and thank you for that it was just all in good fun. And it's 200 episodes in. A lot of the stuff that's happened I never ever would have imagined, like the Buenos for the boys, my under 11 kids when the Cardiff Devil fans are littering the ice with Buenos, the Twix for Caruth, and then Kit Kat Get That for Mosey. And then he's a gamer, right? Man of the match, slides through all of the Kit Kats and just puts on a show for it. It was wonderful.
Nah, he loves it. He's a showman. It's funny actually, because when you first meet Mosey, when Evan's like respectful, nice, decent, good human being kind, that's your first. And then actually when you kind of get into him, you realize that he's a little bit of a crankpot, and he's open to anything, can do anything, and he's a top old biscuit. He's a good boy. He's a
a competitive fella too. There's not many people that you set up Kit Kat Get That, and then he goes out there, runs amok, and is player of the game. That's a gamer.
And also you go, "Hey, Evan, any chance you can do us a little video for social media?" Most players, come to the game, bring a Kit Kat, it'll all be great. He's there in his fancy suit and he's giving it large. He's proper. He's a good boy. He enjoys his day. Every morning he gets up and he thinks, I'm going to enjoy today. And
every day's got to be a good day for living, and he lives that way, doesn't he?
Exactly. 100%. Yeah, no, 100%.
Did you hear a Sheffield Steeler fan got a 2 Ales and Hockey Tales tattoo?
I heard that. I saw it on Twitter or something. Yes.
Yeah, Sarah Cutts. She came on with Mosey.
Oh, Sarah, purple hair. Purple,
yeah,
yes. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
I think, God, I hope it's a mother now I'm saying it. But she comes to the rink with a mother. Buys the 50-50 tickets off me every game. Yeah, nice girl.
Yeah, and she now has... She has 2 Ales and 2 Ales and Tails tattoo, and I just tell you, the things that have happened in 200 episodes just make your heart want to explode. You know,
who was episode number 1?
Luke Piggott, Dr. Luke Piggott.
Dr. Luke Piggott, yeah.
Yes,
he's a good boy.
Oh yeah, we had some fun together, and I got to just see him at the testimonial.
And then since we last spoke, you had Jeff LeGuy on, you had the King of Sheffield, even though he's in Glasgow now, Matthew Waugh.
I'm gonna have him on again once he gets back over to Glasgow. We're gonna reconnect, you could say.
Top bloke.
If I was recruiting a team, he'd be on my call list. He'd be on the top.
The only person he'll be, and if he ever sees this, he'll shake his head when I say it, right? He'll shake his head. But he's the only person I know who benefited from COVID, because I swear to you, I used to go into the dressing room after a game and he would struggle to hold a pen to sign an autograph because he was such a warrior, and he'd be hacked and whacked and beaten black and blue. His body was bollocks. It really was bollocks. And then he had 8, and when he left us, you could see why the coaches were going, you know what, I don't know if he can do another year of this. I just don't know if he can do another year of it.
But he's one of those guys that's a gamer. I'd take him half hurt than a guy, one of the new school guys that are healthy.
Yeah, but I agree. But he had 18 months off doing fuck all. Mm-hmm. And therefore, his body kind of came back to him a little bit. And I think it helped him. And, oh, my God, he should be the King of Glasgow, he's King of Sheffield. Top bloke. One of the good, real good people.
And you talk about gamers, man. And like that guy played with as much passion as anybody. And around the net was the best I've ever seen. And he's still doing it, right? He doesn't have to get up and down the ice that fast to do what he does on a power play.
Could you imagine? I mean, like, he's compared to lots of people, he's a very good skater, but he's not an elite skater. Could you imagine what he'd be doing, how much money he would have earned if he was an elite skater? Like, he went for a cup of coffee in the American League, but he'd have surely, because his natural ability and his warriorness would have.
And that's the thing, though. I think he's one of those guys that, like, when you talk to Derek Clancy, the assistant GM of Vancouver that came on, and he's like, guys have windows. If you don't hit your window and you're not playing your very best hockey when you get your window, you end up being one of the best East Coast players and EIHL players ever. And that's what he's done, is because he probably missed his window, and he was good enough. That guy could be in front of the net on a power play in the NHL. When he was in his prime, that Sheffield year, you put him in front of the net in the NHL, he is going to do just fine.
We had Colton Fretz and Mike Forney and him. Yeah. And that was a pretty impressive line. Then the year after, Forney went to Belfast, and he still did it, and we won another championship with him. He won in Florida as well, didn't he? He won an East Coast championship in Florida. And,
Matthew Waugh, yeah, he did.
Yeah. Before he came to us, top banana.
Well, he's a winner, definitely a winner. And they got Steven Dixon there too. They got a couple guys with some character up there in Glasgow this year. You know,
did you have Levi Nelson on?
Not yet. No, I haven't reached out to him yet.
Okay, no, he's a good boy. Yeah, no, that was an interesting move, Dixon, wasn't it? Dixon Cardiff to Glasgow.
Yeah, I'm still scratching my head a bit, but I'm curious. But he did get like a coaching part to it. So then I made me wonder if Matthew Waugh still has that.
But tell me, can a coach in the English Elite League, can he guarantee that you come and be my assistant for the year and I'll get you into coaching back in North America? Can he? I don't think he can. Is he a second-hand car salesman, that guy in Glasgow? That coach?
I don't know. I don't know him. But why is he saying he can get them back in North America? Because
I'm just going on the Todd Kelman. You won't believe this story, Simsy, how Dixon ends up going to going to Glasgow. He told us he was going to quit. Then he told us he wanted to come back. We were taught. Then all of a sudden, he says, I'm on the phone to him and I'm saying, have you signed already? And you're just like too frightened to tell me. He goes, yeah, I've signed already in Glasgow. Well, I've been promised a coaching job after it's finished. And you wonder, I've heard that. The owners in Cardiff, that's how they get people to go to Cardiff. You come and sign for the Devils, and when you're finished, we'll get you a job in Calgary. Holy shit. There must be 200 hockey players expecting to get a job. Big John Armstrong in Sheffield.
I don't think anybody's got a job in Calgary after playing for the Devils.
It's what they say, isn't it? It's what you say. When we had John Armstrong in Sheffield for a year or two, and then he went over to the Austrian League. It didn't work out. And oh God, the place where Aaron Fox was general manager. It was, and the place, yeah, and Zagreb, and I remember sitting in bed one night, and I'm speaking with John, and trying to get John to come back to Sheffield, and then I'm speaking to the owner, then the owner's speaking to John, and then John comes. John's obviously speaking to me, Tony, and then he's speaking to Cardiff. And he goes, but Simsy, they've offered me a job in Calgary when I retire. And I'm thinking, no, they haven't. They offer everybody a job in Calgary.
It's an option. It's an opportunity. But you'd have to move to Calgary and work there and live there, right?
I don't blame them for using that. We've all done that in different ways, but that's the Cardiff way.
Oh yeah, I'm curious about the Dixon thing too, because when I talked to Luke Piggott about it, when I went over for the testimonial, and we were talking about how that's a weird one, and what Pig said is Dicko isn't about the money, he's about the life experiences, and he knows he's coming to the end, and he figures he wanted to go live somewhere else for a year and get another life experience and get to try the coaching thing. Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know. I don't know him that well. I've only had him in the shed a couple times, but he seems like a dandy. And so does Matthew Waugh. So those are two good guys in the leadership core.
He was on with Bissonnette, wasn't he? On
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, on their podcast. Yeah, he was. He's got a great career, and maybe if money isn't the thing, he'll still be earning a bob or two in Glasgow.
Oh yeah,
they only make out, they don't spend. They spend.
Oh yeah, like got a good team there. But yeah, opportunities come from being good dudes and good players, and Dicko and Matthew Waugh getting the opportunity to try out coaching a bit. I don't know.
Do you know the guy who's just pulled the plug on Coventry?
So a fan reached out about a fantasy EIHL league, right? Where you can, there's a website, you make a team, and you put in £5 and it goes to Alzheimer's Society this year.
Yeah.
And so I put in a team, and then that little punk didn't come. I picked one Coventry guy and he didn't come.
He was supposed to fly the night he phoned the coach. On the evening, they've done his apartment. They've bought his sticks. He was so anal about his sticks that he got the right sticks. I was speaking to the coach. He was going off on one.
I don't know anybody like that.
They've spent a fortune on him. And on the night he was going to fly, he yanks. And he just goes, I'm thinking about retiring. And then all of a sudden, 5 minutes into the conversation, he goes, I could buy those sticks off you. Well, if you're thinking about retiring, why do you need 24 bloody sticks? So
that, and you know what?
I didn't hear great things about him.
Well, when you pull something like that, when you start talking around your shed and you realize how small the hockey world really is,
I think
take long to get around.
Yeah, I think Coventry might be upset right now, but I think in the long term, they might have dodged a bullet there.
Right. So about that fantasy league, I think I'm looking for a trade here.
Exactly.
But yeah, folks, check it out.
What about Ciampini? Is Ciampini? Because we've got great hopes for Ciampini. Is he in your dream team?
Who's that?
Daniele Ciampini.
He's on your
Italian
team?
Yeah, he's on our team. Yeah. He's supposed to be the boy who's going to score us the goals.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Research team didn't find him. I got Mosey. I got Dowd, the best looking player in the league.
Have you seen his tattoo on the back of his neck? Who has a tattoo? You've got to be pretty cool, haven't you, to have a tattoo Dowd on the back of your neck?
It's horse shit, though, how many goals he scores and he's good looking. Like, you don't get to have it all, Robert. It's horse shit.
He does. And he's a top lad as well.
I know.
He's the cutest son. No disrespect to the daughter. She's lovely as well. But the son, Oscar, is an absolute. He's gonna like break girls' hearts.
Yeah, they say genes are a thing. They say genes are a thing, right?
Yeah, they do.
Oh yeah. So anyways, Bob Westerdale from your neck of the woods there, he wrote an article basically about the episode with Carter Best and Will. And I tell you, I didn't know about it. I think I Googled to see if any articles had been mentioned about the pod, and I saw that article he wrote about, is Robert Dowd the best looking player in the UK, with a question mark. You could have left that off. It's not a question mark, but fantastic article. And it was basically about our episode in the shed, and I couldn't believe it.
You should get Bob on. He's got more stories than even me.
I would love to. I would absolutely love to. And thank you for the support, Bob.
Yeah, he's got some great stories. He's a good man. He's a good man.
But it's the support like that that gets you going.
Yeah, like all journalists, there have been times over the last 30 years that I've wanted to drive to Bob's house and burn it down with him in it. And then there are other times I've just wanted to hug him and let it go. But he's a good guy. He's a funny man.
Sometimes the truth hurts though, right?
You know what? He's a journalist and people think he's there just to, a lot of our fans think that the journalists are there just to promote us and be good to us. But sometimes if we need a slap, he gives us one. He's not afraid of that.
Yeah, the German reporters sure aren't afraid to either. You don't want to learn German for those reasons. If you're
gone again.
Really? No, I'm back. I got to be, right? Holy moly. Does say it's unstable. This is unbelievable. 200 episodes, folks. Figure it out, Walton. Okay. This Sunday, you guys have your first game?
First home game. We play in Beirut on Saturday against the Panthers. That's our first game, which is tomorrow. And then on Sunday, we come home to the promised land. And in front of our brand spanking new Videotron, which we've bought, we open at home against Nottingham.
I heard that. You got a big Jumbotron then, a new screen?
Yeah, the old one. We were the first club to have the Jumbotron over here, but we had to build it ourselves because they were just too expensive. So, you know, when you go down the motorway and you see all these flashing signs, we bought a load of old TVs, then we got it all rigged up and we basically built our own. It was supposed to last 5 years and I think it lasted 10 seasons. But it was really coming to the end. Yeah, it was coming to the end. But now, crikey, we've really had to invest and it's a fabulous looking beast. It's only arrived a few weeks ago.
So you say you guys invested, but you guys don't own the arena. So who paid for it? You guys?
We did, yeah.
Well, that's kind of horse manure, isn't it?
Yeah, the hockey club did, yeah.
So what, they don't get to turn it on for any other events then, right?
Well, no, they can use it. You can use it for other events, but we get a little bit of ka-ching, I think, if that happens.
Yeah, give you a little tickle for turning that on.
Yeah, we get our little tickle, yeah. We keep our Saturday nights.
I was going to say, well, I thought the Jumbotron was a great feature in your arena. Other than your arena being too big and warm, I thought the big screen was a huge thing, especially like for the national anthem. And you get the guys all up on the big screen, and you guys put on a good show there. It's just too warm.
No, it is. Do you know what? It is. And there's a debate always about that, because if we come from an ice rink background, you want it a little bit cool, a little bit cold. But some fans, you know what it's like if it's too cold in here, put the heating on. But no, I agree. Hopefully it'll be a bit colder. It's got to be cold at the moment because the heat temperature, when we were laying the ice, it was like over 35 outside and nothing was freezing inside because it's a big metal.
Yeah.
Big metal shed.
So you said you're playing in Beirut. You mean like Germany?
No, Beirut is in like Nottingham. A horrible place where bombs go off. And we just don't like Nottingham, so we call it Beirut. And you think of the worst place you can imagine, that's what we call it. So
they've had a bit of turnover there, eh?
They needed it.
Yeah,
they needed it.
They need to figure something out in there.
Well, they needed it on the ice and off the ice as well, because you know what, they've been talking the talk and not walking the walk for too many years now. I mean, they've only won the league once since 1956.
Well,
once.
All I'm gonna say, because
Wally, listen to me. Once since 1956. It's embarrassing. We've only been about 30 years. We've won it 10 or 11 times. It's a joke.
The only thing I would say that I found out talking in my shed, whether it was after hours, wherever I may have heard it, all I heard is that, it might come from the top down, but the hockey guys, some people making decisions, maybe get their hands tied or told what decisions to make in the hockey side.
Then grow a pair. But yes, that does happen there. That does happen there. But hopefully, You see, whatever you like to say about Sheffield, and people have a lot of things to say about Sheffield, but from the owner to the car park attendant, everybody pulls in the same direction. Everybody.
Right.
And that's the strength of ours as a club. Do we have arguments and disagreements? 100% we do, but we have them privately. And then when we come out, we go together. In Nottingham, for years, they've been fragmented. From ownership to management to coach to players. So everybody's been on their own show. So the big appointment they made was Omar Pasha. Now, Omar, he's a lover, not a fighter. Omar is a little bit of like a Todd Kelman, Stevie Thornton, you know, come and love me. You know, there are many other people. I'm not, you know what? People don't like me. They all think there's a halo above Thornton, a halo above Kelman, and they really think there's a halo above Omar. But what he'll do, he will unite the club, and he'll pull it all into.
And that's what you need in an organization. It's not just the team, it's everybody. Like you said, it's about the car park. It's about every person that works in the arena. It's about every fan that comes in the door. You don't win championships unless you're all in it together.
Exactly. And Pash will do that. He's a good man and he will do that. In fact, he's a good man, but I don't like him there because I hate everything Nottingham. And it hurts that a good blokes go in there.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
you know,
and Deuce is a great dude too. So
he was, but you know what? He had to be a bit more forceful. He was too nice. You gotta sometimes, you know, you gotta stand your ground. You gotta do your thing. And I've never heard anybody say a bad word about that bloke.
No, yeah, I've never heard a bad word about him either.
A bad word about him. And you can go looking and you'll never find it. But maybe, just maybe, that might be his problem.
Right.
That well, sometimes you got to fight the ground, eh?
Sometimes you can't be too nice, you know?
No.
Okay. Well, where and what are you doing now? I saw, actually, no, when we were talking about how everybody loves those three guys, right?
Yeah.
You put up a picture of being in the hospital, and I just saw a couple messages from people, and I couldn't believe how big an asshole some folks are.
Oh, complete twats, some of them.
Yeah. Unreal. I can't believe you go through that shit. I can't believe people write that shit to you. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, listen, I'm Marmite, I know that. And I ask for a lot of the trouble myself. But there are some absolute tools out there, and there are some brilliant people out there. Let me tell you a quick story. There are two girls in Sheffield, and they're in the 30s, 40s. A girl called Becky Hubbard and a girl called Abigail Andrews. And they're seriously ill kids. Seriously ill kids. They're always in hospital. One of them has seizures and one of them is epileptic and has lots of problems. Abigail, she's in the hospital all the time. She's had everything, and they do nothing but say good things, and they're positive and they're brilliant and they're always smiling and they're great. And I love the two girls to death, and every day I get a message off them. And but then you get some others. You get some absolute imbecile.
What's one thing is, like, I haven't had to deal with much of that with the shed yet, of people being negative. I don't think I'd be able to handle it. I don't know how you do it. I know you've probably been dealing with it for years, but some of the messages, I was like, I couldn't believe it. I really don't think I'd be able to handle it.
One of the things is just block them. I used to reply to everybody, and then you just then fight 27 wars a day. But then you've got we've got a bus driver at the moment who's upset, and all he does is put negative stuff on. Block him. Then you don't have to see his shit. We've got another van driver who thinks the world owes him a living, and he's got an opinion about everything. He knows nothing about Nout. Block him. Then you haven't got to listen to his shit any day.
Yeah. That's all. What else can you do? You don't want to listen to that shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Positive notes. Actually, I don't know if this is a positive note. I've seen the pictures. The research team has seen it. You got a puppy. He's cute, but dogs are assholes for the first year.
Oh, tell me. I feel like I feel like a self-harmer. The teeth are coming through. He's biting. We've had to put him in the crate while I do this. He's a gorgeous dog. He's relying on his looks a bit too much right now, though.
I get it.
Look,
I get it. Not everybody can have the looks and the work ethic like Robert Dowd, right? But
this dog, my dog makes Robert Dowd look like an ugly man. That's how gorgeous he is. But he's trying to use those looks to get around us as he's biting your Achilles.
Yeah.
Your knee,
man, my dog now, I think he's like 3 or 4, but man, that first year, I really, really thought about my decision a lot.
I've been there already. I've only had him 2 months.
Actually, it was that asshole Santa Claus that brought the thing.
Exactly. Damn it.
Gosh, darn it, Santa.
You
So
can't
yeah,
go-
you got a dog though, so it's going all right. It's still
Golden
alive and it's
Retriever,
shitting and
yeah.
pissing everywhere.
In all fairness, that's the one thing he's been pretty good with. He knows it's in the garden and he's there. He's not in the house and he's good like that. But just
Yeah.
the biting, the nipping, it's teething up.
Oh, has he ate anything he wasn't supposed to?
Yeah, me clematis has been destroyed. My roses are destroyed. My sunflowers, they're gone. So yeah, mainly in the garden. He's not been too bad in the house, but mainly
That's not that bad. Okay,
No.
so for Sunday's first home game, you got a 56-page program, and I believe that's designed by my poster maker guy, Lee Freeman Designs.
Genius. Boy's a genius.
Oh, he's incredible.
I type all the articles and well, most of the articles. Tony does his own, and we do that. We just send it to him, and then 24 hours later, it comes back looking like Hello Magazine.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Brilliant.
It's like the night I thought, so this is the 200th episode. The night I thought of this, and I told my neighbor I was going to do it, and he said, leave it with me. He asked what the vision was, and I said, it's to go over guys' careers and reminisce and have a couple beers. And I went for a walk. I get in bed. I look at my phone, and he's wrote 2 ales and hockey tales with Wally. I'm like, holy shit. I send that to Lee Freeman Designs, folks. I send that to him that night and I go to sleep. I wake up the next morning to the logo, the logo that's on jerseys, shirts, hats, all over the place. He did that while I went to sleep that night. I wake up and all of a sudden we got a podcast, and he's done 200 now posters for me. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we'd be lost without him. We couldn't do, I mean, it takes 2 days to put that program together. He does it all his bit. And of course, on the internet as we are right now, everybody wants everything online. But I don't know what it's like in North America, but in England, you go to a football game, a cricket game, you want to buy your program, and we still do it. A lot of clubs don't. We don't make any money out of it now at all, but it's a good thing to do when you go to a game. And
it's a great memory, though. Instead of having it online, to get that printed out and be holding
really touch it. Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's like my kids now will find a box in the basement, and it's got the old programs from the Cardiff Devils, and it was Lee that was making those programs back then, and they're great memories for the players, for the fans, right?
100%. No, 100%. I'll look back through some old programs. I've got thousands of them in the garage, and it's great to do. It's a good one. But if I go to a concert, I want to buy a program. I want to be a memento of where what I've been doing that night. And
it's like every guy that comes to the shed and we make a poster, it's a memento for them. That, like, I know some guys have printed 100%. Them off in their own sheds, right? And that's one of my questions. You have your own shed and you call it Lafreniere's, right?
As you can see over here, we had a player in Sheffield 30 years ago called Jason Lafreniere. And Jason played for, as you can see, for the New York Rangers. He was a guy you would have liked. I think he enjoyed a beer, which might have curtailed his NHL career. And when Guy Lafleur, I'm not a great NHL expert, but when Guy Lafleur retired and then he came back for the Rangers.
Yeah.
And he went in. Well, Jason was the guy who and he scored 2 goals that night. Well, Jason had the 2 assists on the 2 Guy Lafleur goals. And, but he was a brilliant bloke. I loved him to bits. And I always thought, if ever I own a sports bar, I'm calling it Lafreniere's. And then I built this kind of summer house thing, got a bit of a...
Oh,
you can't get it in England, got the old pink Whitney. Yeah, that's Evan Mosey's dad. Evan Mosey's dad brings me that every time he comes over. And yeah, we built this and called it Lafreniere's, and this is where we hang out now.
Well, that's awesome. And sorry, my internet sucks today, but yeah, it cut out a bit there when you were explaining. So is that your basement where you are then?
No, it's just like outside the house. We don't have basements over here. So the house is there. It's just like an extension on the house.
So it is your shed.
It really is. It's a posh shed.
Oh, I love it. So mine's not really that posh, but it is from the outside.
The very first time you and I did this, you must have drank about 7 beers. So I'm going to go for the pink Whitney.
Absolutely. Get her down the hatch. I've really calmed down with that. I've got a lot off my chest. I feel a lot better now.
Let it go.
And I got to keep this sustainable. You can't crush 7 beers every time if you're going to do 200 episodes.
You watched the end of our first one, you were slaughtered.
Pissed as a fart.
This was a fart.
Okay, so your team this season, you don't pick the players anymore, but
No.
Carter Best and Will and Aaron Fox, right?
Yep.
They got a very international squad again.
Well, I think because Aaron went to Zagreb and has been in Europe, he's the most un-American American I know.
Right. That happens living over there for that long.
Yeah, and he's been over there. So, of course, his contacts are far and wide through the Austrian League and through the KHL and whatever. So he's not afraid to go and dabble. And the Czechs have been good for us. Every Czech who's brought over here has been good for us.
Oh, we've got
a Swedish goalie. We've got a French defenseman. We've got an Italian, Canadian forward. We got a Finnish defenseman. We got a few Czechs in there. Yeah, we're okay.
Couple Americans and then Canadians and Brits. Yep.
Americans, yeah, and a Welsh captain.
Right. Who is a gamer. So I talked to Carter about this. He is got to be one of the biggest warriors I've ever met. And I wasn't on the team last year, but man, I would have loved to play for that guy on that guy's team. When I saw the bump on his chest and he showed me what he had played through last season, man, I'd play for that guy any day.
But not only from that hit, he'd had 3 or 4 weeks of physio where the physio had been pressing down and hard on it, and his ribs were broken and his sternum was broken, and yet he still played, and he missed a week and a half.
Yeah. Someone was telling me that like if the pass wasn't on the tape, he like couldn't reach out to get it, right? Because
he couldn't lift his arm up. No, couldn't lift his arm up.
Yeah, it's awesome hearing those stories that there's still guys like that out there, because there's a lot of guys that need to feel prim and proper before they hit the ice or they're not playing, right?
We had a guy who damaged just the end of his little finger last year, missed the playoffs. Can you believe it? Is
he on the team this year?
I can remember we were on a losing spell some years ago. I don't mind mentioning the guy's name. A guy called Scott Rickey. He played for the Panthers. He came and joined us. And we were having a horrible time of it. And we'd lost 4 straight. Dave Matsis was the coach. Jody Lehman was the goalie.
That's the team I came over to play when I was with Bietigheim.
Oh, yeah, that team there, right? So Ricky was the defenseman on that, and we'd lost 4 games. We go into Basingstoke on a Wednesday night. There's 300, 400 people in the building. It was hard to get up for it. But end of the first period, 4-0 up. We're going to break the losing streak. It's brilliant. End of the second period, 4-3. They've come back, and you could tell there's a lot of jitters because we've been on this losing streak.
Mentally fragile. Yep.
Mentally fragile. And Ricky doesn't come out for the third period. And you can see the guys are a bit ratty with him. But I don't know why he hasn't come out for the third period. So nothing to do. We go out, we win the game 5-3, get an empty netter, win the game 5-3. We're all happy. We're on the bus coming back. And I'm sat there, and I'm on the next aisle is the physio. And Ricky comes down and he goes, I need a bit of treatment. So I'm thinking, he's got a bad injury. He got a frigging blister.
A blister.
A blister. And it wasn't even a blister. It was a blister. And he missed that third period because of a blister. And you think to yourself, Jesus, mentally fragile.
Well, that's tough. The year I played in Elbron, we blew so many leads that we'd be winning. And like, as soon as the other team would score a goal, you could just see like the bench be like, not tonight, like not tonight. And they just tense right up. And then next thing you know, it happened again tonight. You lost again. Yeah. You lost again.
Yeah.
People sitting out games though with finger injuries would be tough when your captain's playing with broken ribs and a sternum.
Well, you tell me though, you got kids and you see the youth coming through. What's changed? Why is this modern world that we live in? They're not creating those blokes anymore.
I don't know, but I think there's definitely something to do with like the parents do a lot for the kids now, right? Kids don't have to figure much shit out on their own.
No.
You don't really let them fall very much and figure out how to get up or make mistakes. Like there's been, but then again, with all the baloney, a lot of kids have been at home doing not much and not learning life and figuring out like that falling hurts. And you know,
but I remember used to walking into the dressing room and you'd go, okay, boys, what's been happening this? And you'd hear stories coming left, right, and center. You go in there, you say, what's happening, boys? to some of the younger lads, and the old guys go, Simsy, forget it. They got no stories to
There's
tell.
nothing happening.
Nothing's happening out there. You go,
No. When I went to Cardiff, there's still things happening, and it was fantastic to show up in the morning when you're the guy with kids and you get to hear stories, and you're like, this is what's so awesome about hockey, is showing up at the rink, having coffee with the boys and hearing stories.
Have you had Mark Lefebvre on?
No, but he's got fantastic hair. I remember his hair.
Oh, fantastic. He's got the best suits in hockey.
Yeah. How does he afford them with that? Like, how does, my goodness. I was going to say, you don't see suits like that in the EIHL very often.
No, but listen, he's a top lad. And he'll tell you, if you can get some stories out of him, he's the guy who I used to go in and go, Favor, come and tell me the stories. And they'd last all week. He was,
but you're right. It is different. And the thing is, though, is that they're serious all the time now, right? Like they're hockey players all day long. They go, oh yeah, get it, India Simsy. But like they got a diet all day. There's hardly any of them having many beers, right? Because they're counting calories and they're probably weighing their food. And like for me, I didn't foam roll much because during a season, I kind of liked feeling hurt. I knew I was in it then, you know?
Yeah. No, I can run with you on that one. I mean, I've never played the game, so I admire anybody who plays this game because they're all tough men. Even the weakest guy is a damn sight tougher than I am. But you're just looking for a little bit of character sometimes. And I met our team for the first time, and hopefully there's a little bit of spunk and juice and character in those guys.
You need that. You definitely need that. And for me though, I may have heard about the finger injury, but like beforehand, but like when your captain's playing with a broken sternum and ribs, how, as every other player on that team, do you not get in line and be like, I will do whatever it takes?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know.
Okay.
But they don't make them like Jonathan Phillips anymore, I'm afraid.
You're right. You're right. They don't make many of them ever of those. I've never seen anything like that.
No, they don't.
No. Okay. Next one. Got any big promos scheduled this year? Any like jersey retirements or anything?
Well, we got the big testimonial. We got the Golden Child's testimonial, Dowd.
Oh my gosh. That is happening, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's happening. So and our fans love Dowdy, rightly so, because he's just a top lad. So I think that'll be well attended. I think he's going to do that. He was telling me at the golf day he's going to do that maybe at the end of the year, which is probably a good idea.
I think after being at Matthew Myers, that's where I met him. It was a great time for the players because it's not during the season. They can let their hair down a bit and have fun and enjoy it for what it is instead of coaches and managers telling them not to have fun. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they'll come out for Daddy because I think he is the most popular player in Sheffield. I think when you announce his name, 75 Robert Dowd, the volume level does go up, and especially with Valorant not being here this year, I think.
So I brought it up with Carter. What do you think about his skates?
Valorant.
Yeah.
You know what?
Tough looking boots in my world, but the guy looks like a player in them. It looks like they fit him with his hair and the.
Yeah, Marco is a weird guy. He's on the, but you know what? He can get away with his weirdness because he works harder than anybody. He backs everything up on the ice. He plays like a warrior. So you know what? If he wants to come in trousers that finish 6 inches above his feet and wear no socks and wear a weird shirt and have his hair funny.
Do whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want if you're scoring 35 a year, you're battling, you're blocking shots, you're doing everything.
That's when you're running amok, is when you can wear whatever you want, right?
Exactly. And Marco can do that because I wish him well.
Well, and the thing is like if a guy's minus 20 and not doing well, if he's showing up in a weird outfit, you're gonna think, well, maybe you should focus up a bit, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No, totally.
Well, I don't know what we can get into after the Kit Kat that's obviously
you've seen all the rosters. Where do you think everybody sits?
Well, I don't know a lot of the new punks that are showing up, like the guys that are new from North America. I don't know who they are. I'd have to look really hard and the research team would have to get really hot. I don't know. I think Cardiff's top six looks incredible on paper. I think they're going to be really good and they're going to be able to score. Belfast, man, that Adam Keefe just seems to know what he's doing. He seems to have the recipe down right now.
He does. No, they've recruited well again, I think.
For your team, I got some questions for you. Are you ready?
Shoot.
Last time you were on, or one of the times you were on, I remember you saying this to me because I know Frank Doyle. You said I would never sign a goalie to the NBA deal ever again.
Yes, I did say that.
Is your goalie doing the NBA this year?
One of them is, yes, I do. Yeah, that's exactly right. I just think, goalies are different. They're different people.
They very much are.
And if you know Frank, I think Frank would be honest with you. Frank was, what a top bloke he was. And he had a tough first year for us because he'd been so many years out of school. And then to go back into school, it's weird.
Oh, it's the first couple of months of that season when you're trying to figure out the school, the hockey, and how it all works in your life. So I've never really thought about that, but I had very difficult first couple of months in Cardiff, and a lot of it was my knee. But then again, it could have been filling your days with school and hockey, and all of a sudden your days are so busy that it's a life changer.
Yeah, I think it is. And the University of Sheffield, it's a proper MBA. It's not one you just turn up and they rubber stamp it at the end of the year and feed it to you.
Like
David Ling's.
like
the one that David Ling got in Nottingham. Holy Jesus. The MBA. So these are proper and it's hard on them. And who's the most important guy in your team? Your goalie.
Gosh darn right it is.
Your goalie is the most important guy. So I got to be honest, that would be, I can be of course saying that, and I would, it's fortunately we got two good goalies. So
but it might be a month or two, but like they're gonna have to battle, right? You got two imports in that, right?
Yeah, they're gonna have to battle.
Yeah. But it's a great opportunity for that guy, but I've never really heard of this. It's a Swedish fella, right?
Oscar Östlund.
Right. So they like MBAs over in Sweden too. So he's going to obviously be taking it in English. So he's got to be a bit of a smart cook.
Yeah, he's English. His English is perfect. He's played around Europe. He's a good guy. And he'll be.
I saw he's going to wear number 55 as a goalie.
There he is. Yeah.
Different.
Well, goalies are different though, aren't they? Who's the craziest goalie you ever played with?
Craziest Jeff Van Eynatten, episode 50.
Right.
Yeah, no, when he was, there's stories of him, like when he went pro, he was straight smoking darts in the 2-touch circle. University came to watch him at junior B, and he landed a couple muffins, and he knocked the net off, flipped it over, and skated off the ice. And that was it. So but we won the championship with him because he was the most competitive goalie I ever played with. And when it came down to it, he was going to win us the games.
Yeah. Do you know what, the goalie I just mentioned to you on that team that when you came over, we beat on, Jody Lehman, probably technically was not top 5 goalies we've ever had in Sheffield. But if you ask me for one goalie to save me life right now, Jody would be the guy, because he was so competitive. He wanted to win. He just wanted to stop pucks and
you can want it more than the other team, and it actually doesn't matter if they're better than you if you want it more than them.
Absolutely. And trust me, like Jody was a great goalie, but you know what? Maybe a Frank Doyle or maybe a Christian Bronsard or maybe, those kind of guys might have been technically better, but I'm telling you, nobody wanted it more than Jody, and that's why we won so much when he was with us.
Yeah, I still should try and track that guy down. Yeah,
he's a great. He's a beaut. Should.
So speaking of goalies, we kind of tried to set up a goalie fight for fun last time, eh? That was good entertainment.
Big Bad Barry.
But he never got the start. You didn't relay to the coach. That was horse shit.
No, I think I did relay to the coach, and that's why he never got the start.
Well, I got a message from Todd, and he said Mac actually thinks he's fighting tomorrow, and he said we don't need him fighting that goalie, right? Barry Brust. Because Mac, he said, was the best goalie in the league, and then but so then the fight never happened, and we tried our best.
Caruth and Bescawani were the two top goalies in the league last year.
And he's done now, eh? That guy was a goalie, eh?
Yeah, he's done. Yeah, he's done. And Caruth, my best mate coaches in Odense in Denmark.
Bulldogs, yeah.
Yeah,
So he'll be against him.
Yeah, they've played him already. I think he's in Herning, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right. The Blue Foxes. Yep.
Yeah, Blue Foxes. Yeah, so he's in there, and the other guy from Nottingham's there, Polini. I think he's in that team.
Okay. Yeah. No. So you don't think like Bouncy's not going to fight anybody? So I don't even know what we're going to do for fun this year.
Bouncy's not going to fight anyway.
No.
I thought at one point in the summer we were close to Bouncy, you know. And
I may hear some things in my shed.
Yeah. No, there was I think the story goes it was only 24 hours from Tulsa when
it's very interesting, right?
On the door.
Well, when you talk to people in your shed for 200 episodes and like everywhere you sign each season really does change your life and the direction of your life and where it goes and the people you know, the people you hang out with, how you spend your time. And it is where you sign in hockey, what city you're going to live in. And I heard he was really close to signing with you guys.
My understanding is 24 hours. My understanding is it was a done deal. And but then
right.
When Killer goes knocking on the door and offers the 18-year contract, it's like
they probably only announced them for 1, 2.
Play for the next 6 as a goalie, and you're a goalie coach till 2037. Yeah.
And a job in Calgary when you're done.
Oh yeah, of course. You've got the job in Calgary to go back to after that. Yeah.
Actually, there were some Devils fans that were a little upset that I had you on for episode 200, and they said, "When's Killer coming back on?" And I said, "Hey, I kind of like toying with him." Huh?
Killer doesn't attract the traffic.
Oh yeah, he's number 3. He's right behind you. Just a few hundred behind.
30% behind us. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, no, it's fun though. I'd love to chat with Todd again. You know, get caught up with everything. But it's kind of fun to talk to everybody else. It's like your head coach. I haven't reached out to him. It's kind of fun to talk to everybody else, right?
Yeah. Aaron would be a good one.
He would be. Like he's traveled the world and he was in a lot of the same areas as me, but we never actually crossed paths. It's very strange that way.
He's a good one.
So so you think that one kid, you said his name is the guy to watch this year?
Yeah, Daniel Chimpani.
Where did he come from?
Well, he's been all over the place. He was in North America, but then he's been in Europe. He's been in some of the big leagues in Europe. And I know Aaron's excited about him. We got a kid called Brett Newman who flies, and I think Aaron's got high hopes for him. But another check forward, Adam Raska, because Latal did so well for us last year. We're hoping that Raska's going to come in and do something similar. Big kid called Scott Allen.
See, I don't know any of these people, to be honest with you. I used to know everybody.
Yeah, the same. Mason, we had a guy called Mason Mitchell, but unfortunately he got injured in back home. So he's going to rehab in Edmonton, I think it is. And then he's coming in about 6 weeks' time.
So how does that work then? He doesn't get paid until he's healthy.
No,
right?
That's right.
Because
I wouldn't support it with you. No.
He would because he gets hurt at home. Then he doesn't come over till 6 weeks later when he's healthy.
He's gonna and then we're gonna bring him over. I think in 4 or 5, 6 weeks time, and then he'll do his last few weeks of rehab over here. And
it really sucks to get injured as a hockey player, whether it's off season or during the season. Man, it's brutal being hurt. So let's see here. What else do I got?
Hey, how bad must it have been for Mosley? You know, when Evan he missed a whole year.
I know. Well,
when he got out with the national team, and then he's got to go through that whole year just sat there.
Yeah, it's a long time. And watching him play, he seems one of those guys. Like when I watch him now, he's a better player than 2014-15 when he was with Nottingham.
Yeah,
I think he's a better player now. And
Nottingham does that to you.
Well, missing a year of hockey sucks. I did it. I'd missed a whole year with my knee, and man, it does take some time to get back in the groove.
Yeah, no, I can believe it. I mean, no, we've seen lots of, put lads. Like we got Connolly come back this year, Brendan Connolly, who's that heartbeat or one of the main, arteries to our heart. And he got hurt in the Continental Cup last year, and he's back. And then this year he's back.
He's one of those guys that stirs the drink for you, eh?
Completely, but a top bloke as well. I mean, you don't get better. I mean, I heard when he signed, I remember hearing his name thinking, oh, and I'd heard some bad things in Belfast. And But then he played in Glasgow the year after, and I knew Pete Russell, I knew Zach Fitzgerald, and I rang them both when Aaron had mentioned his name to me, and they just said brilliant things about him. And then he's come to Sheffield. We haven't had a blip out of him. He's been golden, and he cares. I mean, that's all we want as a club and as fans and as management. And you just want players who care, and Connolly cares, and he gives you everything he's got every night.
That's one of the biggest things. Totally.
And also accountability. He makes people accountable. And I love him. And you know what? Some clubs might have been a little bit nervous about bringing him back, but he brings so much to the party. He's a number one top bloke. Actually, what he did when I built this bar, because I didn't drink until about 12 months ago. But let me just show you. Hold on. Stay there. Don't go.
I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm here. I just got to get the son to Shed Guy Andrew's birthday party.
He suggested the L'Avignon 16 whiskey.
Holy moly, you're tougher than me. I can't drink that shit.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I'd wet the bed for sure.
but you're not allowed to put anything in it. It's just got to be neat. And
right.
Nice drink. And that was Con's recommendation. So
there's no way I could do that. Not nearly man enough for that. Okay, I got a question for you. You probably haven't been to Chippy Lane in Cardiff, eh?
No, I haven't.
No. So when you're out late night, say it's after a game, you're out late on the town and you're hungry. What do you do to run amok late night? What are you eating?
I'm a KFC man, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Is that right? Twice in one day?
Yeah.
Huh,
yeah.
That's what James Bateman said this morning too. What are you getting there?
Right?
Yeah.
I'm getting a 4-piece meal. I'm getting a 4-piece meal with full fat Coke, and I'm making sure I got 4 wings as well.
4 wings with 4 pieces of chicken. That's what you get.
4 pieces of chicken. My go-to is 4 pieces of chicken with fries, full fat Coke, and or Pepsi, whatever they serve there.
Yeah.
And then some wings on the side as well.
No, that sounds all right.
As I come out of the arena, so I'm always one of the last to come out the arena, and there's a KFC right opposite. And you swear to yourself, no, drive past it, it's bad for you. But the car's got a life of its own, and it just
I know. This town doesn't have much for fast food, but there's a McDonald's, and it gets me at least once every other week, probably. Once it crosses your mind, it's hard to get it out of there till it happens. But
about to get out of it,
yeah. So when you talk about being one of the last out of the arena, what is a typical game day like for David Sims? And do you have a pregame meal? Do you have the same meal every day? Like do you carb load like the boys?
Probably don't eat. Nah, because I drive, so it takes me about an hour and a half to get to the arena. So I'm probably not eating during the day. I get there probably 4 hours before the game, get my media stuff sorted, just get ready, make sure the team's right. Then the team lists are right for all my announcing duties, speak with Aaron, have a cup of coffee with him. Then, of course, I'm selling. I'm selling 50-50 tickets outside till 15 minutes before the game, run upstairs, announce, away we go.
You're one of the people out selling 50-50 tickets.
Yeah. I've done it for the last 8 years. And
that's great.
So for 2 hours before the start of the game, till 15 minutes before face-off, I'm right outside the main entrance. And then you know what? If you can't ask the volunteers to do something if you're not prepared to do it yourself, and that's how it started. And I love it because you actually do get the one-to-one. So this is when we were talking about people putting comments on social media, I'm the most approachable bloke in British hockey by a mile. Everybody knows where I'm standing, at what time, where I am, and everybody can come and approach me. You got a problem? Come to my face, approach me. We never fall out because you're doing it to my face. So there's not a problem then. We're 2 big and ugly guys talking it through.
Instead of writing it on your phone.
Instead of, with your trousers down, passing yourself off as a 14-year-old, typing like that, And so I do that, and you get the feel of people. If people have got a gripe, holy shit, they'll tell you as they're giving you some money. And I love the feeling of taking cash.
Then you get the pulse of your hockey family, right?
And you know what I do? I got my big bag of money and my tickets. I take them up to the owner's suite where we count it all, and I pump it down. And you say, "Hey, Gaffer, the fans have got a problem with this. We might just have to on Monday morning, we may have to contact the arena or do something about this. We haven't known about it, and now it's been brought to our attention. So it's good like that. So you talk about a game day, maybe end of the first period, end of the second period, when I take my money up in between periods. They have some food in the suites. They do great custard at the arena in the suite.
Did you say a great
brilliant
custard?
Apple crumble and custard. And Tony's wife, Karen, always makes sure there's apple crumble and custard. So I have a bit of that. You've got me.
That's, yeah, I know.
Come on, internet, come back.
Oh my, there you are. Hey, there you are. You were frozen on me. I'm here. I know. This is ridiculous. There you are. Can you see
where
me?
I'm there. You go. Yeah, you go.
Hey, here we are. Episode 200. Still shitty internet, folks. Way to go.
Exactly.
Good gosh, be better, Walton.
Pay your bill, man. Pay your bill.
Seriously, this is absurd. Yeah, no, that's cool though. And what you were talking about, the 50-50, that you're selling the tickets and you get the pulse of the people, is I played on teams where you don't know the people running the team. You don't see them because they're up in their suite. You don't know anything about what's going on. They don't talk to the players. They don't talk to the fans. And then that's not a winning organization. That's not how you win. You need to know what's going on.
Yeah, everybody's approachable. So I'm out there. Sean, who's the owner's son, who's our operations manager, he's about. Tony, you can always get hold of. Mike O'Connor, the commercial guy, you can get hold of him. And Foxy and Carter as well. Yeah, you can get hold of all of us.
And I hear they make some hockey jerseys, don't they?
That's what they do. That's Rhino is their core business. And yeah, they make the jerseys.
Yeah, well, so I got these made here in Canada. Shipping's cost me quite a bit, so I may be in contact, but this is the last one here made, and it is up for raffle to help one of the Steelers families, right? The Batemans, Rich's recovery, and tickets are available at aleshockeytales.com. £2 a piece, folks. So just buy a ticket, just get off your ass and buy a ticket and help them out. They could use it, right?
And as soon as we finish this, we'll retweet it from my account, but also from the Steelers account as well. Well,
thank you very much. And you know what? That's part of why you're the guy I want on for episode 200. It's not just about how many listens your episodes get. It's about the support you've given me. Like the Kit Kat, get that? It's a memory I'll have the rest of my life, getting to see that from over here, that actually happened. And like the fun stuff that's gone on, it makes all this getting up at 6 a.m. worthwhile. It's not about me making money. It's about having fun.
Exactly. We all work hard, and you've got to have a bit of a giggle at some point.
That's what the game's about, right?
Exactly. And we're privileged. I mean, like, we could be erected in scaffolding, for Christ's sake. And here we are, it's a privileged life we lead. I do my regular job and then I do my hockey job, and I probably work twice as hard for hockey as I do in my regular job, but it doesn't feel like work because it's just a great thing to do. I got a terrific boss. I got terrific colleagues I work with at the Steelers, and we're all in it together, pushing the same way. So,
yeah, and then it's just like the shed here. And I got my 2 volunteers with Lee and then Sean Collins, who does the website for me, who is incredible. Looks great. He just revamped the whole thing. And man, to see what's gone on is, I do this voluntarily, basically. The odd person like give me a tip, but like, I just love having fun, and I miss the game and the way it's gone, and that I can help the Batemans and Rich by talking to people in my shed and raising awareness. It literally makes me get emotional talking about it and thinking about it, because I just did this because I missed my friends and I missed the game, Yeah,
I can understand that. I miss it in the summer. I went back to the induction day, and we're players are still the key. And on the induction day, you're meeting the guys, and it's like your first day at school. Oh yeah, that's Piche. Oh yeah, that's Scott Allen. Oh yeah, there's the goalies. And you're excited, and you've spoken to them on the phone, and you might have Zoomed them or you've done something. But when the boys arrive, the juices flow because it's real.
And it's special, the start of the hockey season. It's very special to bring in the new guys with the core that was there. And like, there's so much excitement. It's so special, the start of every hockey season. And then when it's over for guys like me, it's just over,
It's No,
the season starts and you're not excited, and it's all happening and you're watching it happen over there. And it's like, oh, great.
Not every retired player can be a coach or a GM or
No.
You go run a skill school or whatever. Yeah.
Speaking of guys that aren't ready to call it a day yet, is our fella Deeds. He resigned. He's going back.
Is that right? How old
Yeah.
is Dick now?
I don't know, but
God.
he had told me last year was going to
Weird.
be it, and then I believe they didn't win, and they had the team, and he thinks that they still have the team, and he's going to give her one last
Good
run.
for him.
Yeah,
Good for him.
he wants to. You got to go out if you can think you can win it. Don't go out when you don't need to. The real world will be there when you're done.
And it's amazing, you know, how many people have careers and don't win. I can remember many years ago, I think about 2004, 5, something like that. We had a guy called Brad Lauer, and I think now he's an assistant coach or something in the NHL, or he's gone on to great things. And he'd played 500, I'm making that number up, but he played a humongous amount of NHL games, great career, total classy bloke. And we won the playoff finals. I believe it might have been in Manchester. It was against Manchester in Nottingham. And I remember going down into the dressing room afterwards. Everybody's very happy. And he's sobbing his heart out like somebody's just killed his cat. And it was the first thing he'd won. And it was his very last game of hockey.
Yeah.
Because he was retiring. And he won. And he goes, it's my first championship. I'm not in junior, not in the American League or the minors, not in the NHL, not in Europe. He'd never won. And
if you don't know, and then like there's a lot of guys that want it so bad. And then there's other guys, you see the stats they put up and like they never won. Right. And then there's guys like that Matt Register that was in Cardiff. That guy seems to win wherever he goes.
Wherever he goes. Yeah.
Yeah. And some people just have a knack for it, you know?
Yeah. Maybe it's a bit of luck as well, but no. So yeah, Brad Lauer won, and it was only when I saw that I thought, wow, that really means, you know, winning is important. That's what we do it for. I know in the modern world it's a taking part that count, but Jesus, that stinks. No point in doing it if you're not going to try and win it.
Absolutely. It's the same you do anything in life, right? If you're going to do it right, do good.
Do it to the best you can. Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I agree. Well, what else do I got here? I don't know if I got anything else. Do you? What should we do for fun this season? We can't throw Kit Kats. We got any other ideas?
Strippers? No.
Legs and eggs? I thought Mosey was going to strip that night, but there's too many Kit Kats on the ice. He probably would have fell.
We're not allowed to even do that after a road win anymore, are we? We can't even do that.
While we're in the senior A loop around here, I hear a rumor that there's a place in Hanover that all the teams make their way through. I guess they're still doing it like old school in the senior A loop around here. Apparently, I've only heard rumors about it. So what do you do for fun in the off season then? Last question.
This season I went to hospital and had half my prostate taken out, and then I've had a load of complications. So we've had not a great deal go on this summer. Then we've had the dog. So
you've been busy with that shit.
Yeah, normally a bit of golf, bit of fun, couple of holidays, but none of that this year now.
Well, it's great that you're back and healthy and ready to rock.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, being healthy is huge, right? And so folks, if you could buy raffle tickets at aleshockeytales.com to help Rich with his recovery, help get him healthier, that would be great. And thank you so much for making the time. I know we're both busy guys, and the first time I mentioned I could do it, you didn't make excuses. You just said, okay, and you made the time for me. Thank you so much.
Hey, it's good fun to do. Good fun to do. I look forward to episode number 250.
Absolutely. I think we'll keep going.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. No. All good.
And this has been the 200th episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales with Simsy and Wally. Go Devils.